Okay, you forgot everything, so I know you're not gonna believe me. But you used to be a regular guy, but then you got this phone with basically endless money. You can call a woman named Juice and ask her to make virtually anything happen. Your goal is to try to make Japan a better place. Despite all the power you have though, you're still a very morally straight person. But in their eyes, stick with me, you're actually a terrorist that tried bombing Japan not once, but twice. And now you're living this strange double life trying to save Japan while acting like its biggest enemy. Did you get all that? Well, I sure hope so, because that's the plot of... You know, at one point I almost forgot why I started watching anime in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed— oh, I forgot to add that one anime that I said anime, and now I just have an anime note in my notes that I don't actually have an anime. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed watching it, but it was to the point where I just watched it because it's what I've been doing for years, so to me it's basically not even a choice. I even watched And You Say There Is Never a Girl Online. Oh, yeah, I am desperate, how'd you know? So to me, Eden of the East was just another anime sitting on my waitlist. I would totally get around to eventually starting it, and I might even find it tolerable, who knows? This is one of my favorite anime now. The crazy thing is, I wanted to not like this anime so bad, but I couldn't. But like, I seriously wanted to. See, when watching an anime that has this kind of authentic art style and was made in the pre-Jurassic era, there's so much that can go wrong, and probably will. But this one's a tad different. I think it's actually kind of underrated, at least in the era of the 220s. This anime is called Eden of the East, and what you heard at the beginning of the video, like I said, was the plot, and is what I'm recommending to you today. Eden is an anime I wasn't able to put down, but it's not the same as something like The Eminence in Shadow. That was more like a TikTok or Candy Crush situation where, what? I'm not addicted, I could close the app whenever I want. What do you mean I've been up for 3 days straight? I just wasn't able to put it down because it was genuinely that good. Now, I'm not part of those loonies who think that every old anime is peak, because that's just stupid. But if you could tell me a recent anime that looks like this, runs like this, has charm like this, and doesn't seemingly hate America, then you're lying. Or watching this video on a different timeline, in which case, be my friend. See, with this anime being as old as it is, it can get away with a lot. Like this, and that, and hey, look over there. But for this anime, I love it so much because it plays so well to the complete chance aspect of this. When any YouTubers critically go over a thing, something I almost always hear goes kind of like, I really didn't like how the door just happened to be unlocked, and how that one character just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I think it's very unrealistic. And to an extent, I kind of agree, but not really. Sure, in some anime I feel like it can be a bit forced, but here in this one it's so naturally absurd. This felt like more of an adventure anime than a lot of adventure anime I've actually seen, and it just straight up felt like the phrase, huh, what are the odds? But not even in a bad way. But I have some business to talk about. See, with me being a basically famous AniTuber now, I have an obligation to tell you the disclaimers. Eden of the East isn't gonna blow you away with how it looks or sounds, or the logic behind launching a number of missiles at your home country, and it also isn't the most in-depth anime to exist. But it throws everything together in a way that leaves you curious as to how that just worked. Somehow I care about toxic work environments and the collapse of a certain nation equally, and I think that's with the help of this anime's attention to things that don't seem like they need it. I can't even really describe it as focusing on the small things in this case, because it doesn't really focus on them so much as just to let you know they exist. But for this anime specifically, that's enough, because there's so much to get through. There's no time being wasted here, so we can make the most out of every episode. Plus, the world already felt very much alive to me. There's this random guy who gave away his pants. Listen, you're not listening to me, he gave away his pants. These are levels of randomness and shenanigans that you'd hear about when you miss that one day of school. On one hand, I'd describe this anime as organized chaos, but then on the other, what I'd say is, Eden of the East is, pardon my Londanian, not just beautiful, not just exquisite, not even just ravishing, but is... I know that by this point you're probably looking for anything that objectively puts this anime over any other one, but I don't really think I could give you that. I'm not going to make the lame argument that it's just an opinion so you can't attack what I've said or say that I'm wrong, because to me, that defeats the whole purpose of making these videos. I want your experience with this anime because maybe I just watched it at the right time or in the right place, and maybe you have absolutely no clue how anyone could like something like this. But conditional or not, all of what I've said about this anime contributed to me making this video now. It all contributed to how Eden of the East reminded me. Wow, never stop watching these Japanese cartoons. Thanks for watching, and 700 subs. That's, again, actually insane. I'm off.